Good morning, I'm Debbie from Debbie's World and it's time for another recipe. So it's now 12 o'clock, time is ticking on and Andrew's here making his dinner, so there might be noises in the background. But the next recipe I'm going to make today is something that I found on the Readly app, not sponsored, not an ad, don't worry. So I was going to make it in the air fryer, but I've got the oven on for something else. So I'm actually going to just cheat and do it in my oven. But I will happily share the image with people if they want me to cook it in the air fryer and the method and so on. So what I'm going to make is bacon and broccoli frittata. So what you'll need for this recipe is 100 grams of tender stem broccoli. This is 200 grams and I'm going to use it all. It says 8 rashers of smoked bacon, so I've got 8 smoked bacon medallions. 4 large eggs. Oh, he's pinching my salt. This is my ad. I've got some mustard powder, just normal mustard. If you are wanting to reduce the calories a bit, or you're on Slimming World or whatever, you can use mustard powder, which is what I got out at first, but then I remembered I had this from a previous recipe, so I'm going to use proper normal mustard. Some olive oil. This is mainly for frying your bacon and for greasing your tin, so if you've got other methods of doing that, you can leave that out. And then in the recipe it says wrong phone. It says wrong phone, yeah. 2 tablespoons of finely grated parmesan. I'm not keen on parmesan, so I'm going to use my half-fat mature grated cheese from Asda. I'm going to weigh it, obviously, so that I can calorie count. You can use whatever cheese you like as long as you weigh and account for it. But yeah, that's what I'm going to use. And it says chopped chives. Oh, milk. We need to get some. Can you pass me some milk? So yeah, broccoli, bacon, eggs, whatever cheese you like, some seasonings, salt, pepper and mixed herbs I'm going to use, some milk, some eggs, whatever I've not said will come across, I'm sure. But yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is chop our broccoli up and blanch it off, which I'll show you how to do. There is my chopped broccoli. I have left some of the stems in and just a splash of water in the bottom, and it says cover with cling film. I'm just going to use one of these like plastic covers for the microwave, and microwave for 2 minutes. And I will set that off once I finish this clip, because you are right in front of the microwave. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my bacon medallions and fry them off in a pan. I don't think you need to see me doing that, but that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to use a splash of oil. You could use your fry light, whatever you want to use. But yeah, I'm just going to chop these up into like little bits and fry it off. So there's 220 grams of chopped smoked bacon there, and that is now going in my frying pan. You can do it in the air fryer as per the recipe, but as I say, I'm going to put my quiche in the oven because I've got my oven on for something else. So now we're on to mixing the actual frittata mixture. So I'm going to crack my 4 eggs into a mixing jug. Probably a good idea to do it in something like this, and then you can just pour it over your broccoli and bacon. Here's where the experimenting starts, because we're going a bit off recipe. By the way, my broccoli is draining in a colander, and I'm just frying off my bacon. I just keep stirring it every now and again. So I've got my 4 eggs in my jug, and then it says 3 tablespoons milk. So we've got a tablespoon. And the scales have gone off. So that's the first mistake. Yes, so I'm going to have to estimate that at around 50 ml of milk. Ignore my stomach. Concentrate on this. Right, okay. So how much then we want to add our cheese? So it says 2 tablespoons of parmesan. It's only me using this cheese, so yeah. Zero out these scales. Let's get this right. That's 50 grams. I think I'm going to take it up to 80. Just use as much cheese as you like. Okay then, 90. Because I've put in that it does 3 portions, it might do more. So 90 grams of cheese. Again, you add as much as you like or as little. And then my mustard powder. So we're going to do 10 grams of mustard powder. Sorry, just normal mustard. That will be plenty. And then some salt, pepper, and the recipe says chives, so if you've got some fresh chopped chives, stick them in, but we're a bit wing it and love it here, so just some mixed herbs, and then I'm going to give that a really good mix. So here's the thing I'm going to use. I'm not sure if this is air fry friendly, but it's definitely, it's a Pyrex. I'm just going to place it on the scales because I want to weigh the whole mixture, so that if I've put it down as 3 portions, but if I get any more or any less, I can then use the weight of the whole thing and divide it into that, if that makes sense. Andrew says I should take more time to think about how I'm going to say things, but there we go. So what I've done is I've just measured out a cupful of oil and gone round the sides with some kitchen rolls, sides and the bottom, so it's greased with oil. I've got my broccoli, and remember I've used 200 grams of broccoli and not 100, but that will be really nice. Then I've got my bacon. I like mine quite crispy on the burnt side, but everyone's different, aren't they? Yum, look at that. That looks delicious. Excuse me for a moment. I told you I'm not. There's no BBC cooking show for me, I don't think. But I hope this is helpful to just give you an idea. And then what I might do is, no, I'm not going to put it. You could put some salt on the broccoli, but the bacon will add saltiness too. And then I've got my egg and milk mix and cheese. So what do we think? Do we think 3 or 4 portions? Let me know what you think. So that is 630 grams. Let me just add that before I forget. Right, Right, so again, if you're going in the air fryer, you might need a slightly smaller dish to fit in your air fryer drawer. But because mine's going in the freezer, I'm just making sure all the egg is evenly distributed. It says 10 minutes in the air fryer. I think I'm going to go for 15 minutes in the oven and see how we go. The frittata has had 15 minutes in the oven on 180, and I think that's done. There's slight colour, a slight browning on the top, and it smells done. You can see the bacon's cooked, but I'm going to like it like that anyway. And just give it a little shake, and there's absolutely no wobble at all. So that's the frittata, and we'll let that cool and see how it cuts. So here we are, just doing the final bits of prep for the bacon and broccoli frittata. So what you should do is just get like a butter knife or a palette knife, just run it round the edges and run it underneath just to make sure it's loosened like that, which is absolutely fine. And I've decided I'm going to get 4 portions out of this, so I've done my calories accordingly. Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I think that's actually plenty. And then a fish slice, or whatever you call these. First slice is always the hardest, but look at that. Yum. So again, I'm using these prep trays from Amazon. They will keep in the fridge for 3 or 4 days if they're sealed, or you can freeze them, which I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to keep one to eat tomorrow. So I'll turn you around and let you look from up top. And there we go, 4 delicious portions of bacon and broccoli frittata. It's really nice. It'd be really nice with coleslaw or potato salad and salad, or you could have it like as an evening meal with chips and salad or new potatoes, or take it as a part of a pack up one day if you're going out. Really handy. So it is 1,227 calories for the whole thing as I've made it, or per serving for 4 servings it's 307 calories. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd make it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.